What if Luffy ate the gold fruit? Now, for those who do not know what the gold fruit is, it's a paramecia fruit from the One Piece film Gold. As the main antagonist in One Piece film Gold uses it, lets the user manipulate gold. However, I decided to change it. Instead of the user manipulating gold, it's going to be a Logia, so the user can conjure, manipulate, and become gold. Now, Luffy will eat this devil fruit, and as far as the shipping will go, it will be Luffy x Nami, due to the simple fact of that they both love money, as Luffy will be similar to Nami in the sense of always wanting money, and more money. Now, we start this one off as we see Luffy talking to Shanks, as just like in the anime, the mountain bandits would walk in and look at the pirates and say, so these are pirates. And then he would take out his sword and ask he would ask Makino for sake. However, she would explain to him the mountain bandits that she's out, and Higuma the bear would point out, then what are the pirates drinking? As Makino would explain to Higuma that Shanks would apologize to Higuma, saying that they drank the bar dry, and he would offer him the last bottle of alcohol. However, Higuma would just look at the bottle for a second and then swipe and cut the counter, as well as nearly hitting Shanks. However, instead of being mad Higuma would pull out his wander poster and show that he was a wonder man of only 8 million berries. However, Shanks after Higuma the bear leaves, Shanks and his men would just laugh, and Luffy would get mad, saying that, what the hell was that? Why didn't you fight back? I thought you guys were pirates. And Shanks would explain to Luffy that not all things are worth fighting over. And Luffy would say whatever, and then look to his right and see a treasure chest with a fruit looking kind of like gold, and so he would eat it. He would just angrily eat it, and soon Shanks would notice Luffy, and so he asked what he ate, and then he'll look, and then Lucky Rouge will point out that the devil fruit that they stole is gone, and Shanks would ask Luffy, did you eat the devil fruit in the treasure chest? And Luffy would, seeing not that big of a deal of it, would say yes, and Shanks would pick up Luffy by his feet and keep telling him to spit it out. However, it was already too late, as by the time he tried dropping him again, Luffy's legs will turn into gold, and he would fall out of Shanks' hand and land on the ground. And Lucky Rouge would come to and explain to Luffy what he just ate. He ate the gold fruit. It's a Logia type fruit that allows him to conjure, manipulate, and become gold. Now, at first, Luffy would be shocked but happy at the same time, as he knew that money, you need a lot of money for a pirate crew to buy a ship, buy supplies, and whatnot. So he'd be happy. He'd be like, cool, I can conjure, manipulate, become cool. I can make gold happen, cool. That means I can have a lot of funds and can spend as much money as I want buying meat for my crew. However, Shanks would still be mad. However, he was showing anger face at Luffy, but then he would just smile and rub him on the head, saying he didn't know any better. And so, although Shanks was a bit mad that he lost the fruit, he was fine with Luffy eating it. Now, we see Shanks walking into town as Luffy is tied up and getting beaten by the bandits, as earlier, Higuma came back and started insulting the bandits, or the pirates, and Luffy would retaliate, fight back, and conjure 2 gold fists and start punching at him. However, eventually Luffy would get tired out, and so that's how, when the bandits got past his fist and tried attacking him, nothing happened, so Luffy would continue attacking. However, eventually Luffy would get tired out, as he had not fought, and so eventually he would get tied up, and so they would start beating him, as they had put sea prison stones, as one of the mountain men would explain to Higuma that he ate a devil fruit. Now, Shanks would walk into town and see what was up, and say no wonder why the bar was empty, and he would say, Luffy, didn't you say your punches were like pistols? And soon Shanks would continue walking up before a bandit pointed a gun at his head and said, don't move. However, Shanks would say, "Put your life on it." Confused, the bandits would say, "Huh?" And Shanks would explain that guns are meant for action, not for threatening. And then so Lucky Rouge would come to the side of the said mountain bandit and pull the trigger, killing him instantly. This would shock everyone, and then Ben Beckman would ask Shanks, can he take care of these lowlifes? At which Shanks would say yes. And so Ben Beckman would beat him, and the bear would say, "You guys fight dirty." And Luffy or Hickman the bear would say, "You guys fight dirty," and Shanks would explain to him that they're pirates. They fight dirty. So after seeing that his men got absolutely demolished by Ben, Hickman the bear would grab a smoke bomb, throw it down, and take Luffy with them. As Hickman the bear was about to throw Luffy in the water, the Lord of the Coast would come out of nowhere and eat Hickman the bear, making Luffy fall into the water. And when the Lord of the Coast seen Luffy, set his sight on Luffy, he would go to attack Luffy. However, Shanks would jump into water, losing his arm in the process, and staring the Sea King in the eyes, using Conqueror's Haki and make it go away. And so Luffy would be crying, saying, "Shanks, your arm." However, he said that he was betting his arm on the next generation. And so eventually, Shanks and his crew would start getting ready to leave. And that's when Luffy would tell him that he's going to get a crew of his own, surpass him, and become king of the pirates. And so Shanks would smile, seeing Roger and Luffy. And so he would give him his straw hat, explain to him, give it to him when you become strong enough. And Luffy would cry and Shanks would leave. Time skip 2 years. During this time, Luffy, as in the flashback, Luffy was 4 and now he's 6. As Luffy is now with Garp, going up the mountain to go to the mountain bandits. And when Garp heard that Luffy wanted to become a pirate, and he seen the straw hat and heard from the mayor that Shanks was here and that Luffy ate a devil fruit, he would be enraged that red hair, as he called him, that bastard red hair corrupted my grandson. However, and he tried stopping Luffy from the pirate act. However, it was already too late, as Luffy already wanted to become the pirate, not just any king or any pirate. He wanted to become king of the pirates. And so eventually Garp would just give up and take him to the mountain bandits, explain to Dodon take him up to the mountain bandits. And as he was talking to Dodon, Ace would see Luffy and try to spit on him. However, due to his training already with Garp and just overall learn how to turn into gold itself, he would instantly turn himself into gold the second he sees the spit going for him. So the spit would just go right through him. He'd look at Ace and ask him why did he try to spit at him. However, Ace would say nothing and ask if he wanted to be his friend. And Ace would still be unresponsive. And then Garp would see that Luffy's talking to Ace, and he would say, "Oh, so you found Ace, huh? Ace, this is your brother Luffy. Luffy, that's your brother Ace." And so Ace and Luffy meet. Now, time skip one day, and in this day, Luffy has found that Ace would always run, or time skip 4 months. During this time, Luffy would see that Ace would always run through the forest mysteriously and then go away and never come back for hours. And so, one day, and during this time, he would follow him. Eventually, during this time, Luffy would follow Ace and see that Ace would always go into the forest during these 4 months constantly. And so over time, he would follow him. Eventually, while Ace knocks stuff down to get in the way of Luffy of following him. Eventually, Luffy would get through all of it though. And so, eventually Luffy would get through all of it and find Ace and Sabo talking about treasure. And so Luffy would say, "Cool." Ace and Sabo would be talking about treasure for a pirate ship. And so Luffy would say, "Cool, you guys are trying to be pirates too?" And he would pop his grin. He would just grin at them and say, "I want to become a pirate too." And so Sabo would ask Ace if this was the same guy that's been trailing him for the last 4 months, and Sabo would say yes. However, before they can think of what to do to Luffy, they will hear Blue Giant pirates coming in, and so they quickly they will tie up Luffy to the tree and hide. And Blue Giant would find Luffy tied up. He would ask if he knew somebody by the name of Ace. Now, just like in canon, Luffy would get tortured. However, for the first few methods, they would see that he would just turn himself into gold. So he would ask them to bring him sea prison chains, and so they would. And so that's when and also his gloves, Blue Giant's right-hand man's gloves. And so eventually he would. And so he would torture him, asking if he knew who Ace was. And still Luffy would say no. Eventually, Sabo would follow them, and while Ace hid the treasure, he would spill. However, he never did, and so Sabo would return back and explain to Ace that Luffy never spilled the beans about where the treasure is. At first, Ace was confused on why someone would get tortured for him. However, eventually him and Sabo would go save Luffy, which they did. And as far as Blue Giant pirates go, they all got knocked out, save for the one torturing Luffy, as he was killed they all got knocked out eventually, and also still all the money there. And Ace would ask, why would Luffy keep quiet for him? And he'd say, because you're my friend. And so this would start the brotherhood of Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. And Luffy would explain to them that he could conjure, manipulate, and become gold. And he says if they ever need help with the money, don't worry, he got them covered. And so that's what he did. Eventually though, Sabo's parents would be Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. This is another 6 months later. Ace, Sabo, and Luffy are running through the capital, like always, after having a big meal, when Sabo's father would see him and call out to him. However, he would ignore him. And so, eventually, Ace would ask if he knew who that was. And so, Sabo would explain to him that he's a noble, and that was his father. At first, they would be shocked, and then Luffy would ask if anyone else is keeping secrets from him, to which Sabo or Ace would explain to him that he's the king of the pirates' son. And so, as through this time, Luffy's seen that he doesn't care. If you're nice, you're nice, and if you're mean, you're mean. And that's what Luffy thought. And so, since Ace was always nice to Luffy, although mean at times, he was still overall nice. So Luffy didn't really care who his father was, as Luffy seen it. Ace and Sabo were his brothers, and so Luffy would smile at him. Now we time skip a week later after the incident, where we see Luffy, Ace, and Sabo surrounded by the Blue Giant pirates, and so Sabo's father would come out and tell him to come home this instant. However, Sabo would hesitate. However, eventually, when they threatened to kill Ace and Sabo or Luffy, he would. And so, the Blue Giant pirates let them go. And the Blue Giant pirates would let them go, and Sabo would go with his father. However, he would hear his plans about the Great Terminal trying to get burned down. And so he'd try to go warn Ace, just the people in the Great Terminal, as well as Ace and Luffy. However, his father did not allow it. And so eventually he would run